Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our first semi-final in our 2023 Future Anything National Grand Final Series. I don't know about you, but I am very, very excited to be here. Now, before we dig into what I know is going to be a cracking hour, hearing from our young entrepreneurs pitching their innovative ideas, I just want to take a second and show you something that might be familiar. Now, hopefully you all recognize this map, but I'd love for you to have a think about how old you were when you first saw it. For me, I would have been 5, and I remember kind of having to match the capital cities to the states. That was kind of my first interaction with this map. And now I want to throw to another one. And I'd love for you to take a second and think about how old you were when you first saw this map. Now, it would have been my late 20s before I actually interrogated or had an opportunity to see this map. And so, almost 2.5 decades later. And so, before we dig into today, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands which we are and where you're coming from as well, and acknowledge our First Nations people as our first innovators and our first creators. I'm coming to you from Future Anything HQ, which is actually on the Yuggera and Turrbal lands, but I would love for you to take a second and kind of just acknowledge the history and the culture of where you come from today. Now, if you have a social media account, which I reckon you probably might, we would love for you to get active on social media, and please tag us so that we can share your posts as well. You can see the handles online, so feel free to grab a snap, a screen grab if you're watching on YouTube, and actually kind of share your support of our incredible teams as they pitch today. Now, today's semi-finals is the second stage in our Activate program. And so over the course of a term, these young entrepreneurs have been tapping into this mission, pitching an innovative idea that makes the world a better place. So within their schools, they've had between 10 and 20 weeks to identify a problem they care about, ideate, design, develop, and pitch an innovative idea. They've gone through and applied for our finals. We had over 250 applications for our finals this year. And now we have the top 40 teams pitching across 8 semi-finals today and also Thursday. So the winner of each of our semi-final teams will go through to the grand final. And our last 5 years of grand finals, we have had some outstanding young people, like our 2018 National Grand Final winner, Tanika, who developed an idea that was school socks that looked like school socks above the surface of the shoe. So they were white, so she didn't get in trouble from her teachers, but partnered with a graffiti artist called Mulga to design these amazing patterns underneath the shoe line. And the metaphor of her shielded socks was, you don't know what's underneath the surface for young people. A portion of the profits from each pair of socks sold went to support Headspace so young people could get access to the support that they need. And then we go to 2019 and we had Culturehood from Springfield Central State High School. So back-to-back winners from 2018 to 2019, taking home the trophy. And these young people were really concerned about the amount of domestic violence that existed within their Polynesian community. So they took these amazing Polynesian designs and they printed them down the sleeves of hoodies and called them Culturehood. A portion of the profits went to support victims of domestic violence, and they pre-sold their first 50 hoodies the first day. And then we queued to 2020. And this year, because of dreaded COVID, we actually ran our final series virtually, including our grand final. And so 3 students from the Sunshine Coast pitched an idea that would remove the need for shark nets off the coast. They used the technology that exists in wristbands that surfers wear to repel sharks, attached it onto flotation devices they dropped off the coast at intervals to create what they called an aqua shield. And then we queued to 2021. And if you attended our National Grand Final in person at QUT at Gardens Point in Brisbane, you would remember it was atrocious weather. There was rain, there was storms, but emerging from the rain was our winner, Chloe, with her idea, Chloe's Heat Wheats, which has now been rebranded to By Chloe. And when Chloe was 11, she started sewing her own wheat bags and partnered with One Tree Planted so that a tree would be planted for every wheat bag that she sold. The prize package for 2021 for our National Grand Final winner was over $14,000 in prizes and support. And then we queue to last year's grand final, back at the Trifford, where 2 boys from the Goldie took the stage to pitch their eco-friendly dog beds that were also undestroyable by their dogs. And so they were using Kevlar, the same material that's used in bulletproof vests, to create an indestructible dog bed that they called eco beds. Now, the real question is, in the 5 teams we are going to see today, will one of these teams be our winner for 2023? Now, we have a fast and furious agenda for you here today. Can you see how quickly I'm talking? Because I know we need to get to the judges and I know we need to get to the teams. So what we have for you is me for a little bit. Then I'm going to introduce you to our 3 incredible judges who have the very difficult decision of choosing a winner and a runner-up today. Then we have 5 pitches, and then we have our people's vote and the verdict at the end. Now, the structure of the pitches. Each of the teams have 3 minutes to pitch. With 30 seconds to go, they will hear this noise. Oh, thanks, Andrew. And then at the 3-minute timer, they will hear this noise, at which point we will clap them until they stop speaking. So it is a hard 3-minute finish. At that point, the judges will come on screen and they will have 4 minutes to ask clarifying questions to our teams to help them kind of shape their decision-making process. At the end of the pitches, they will pick a winner, and that winner will be one of 8 teams that goes straight through to our grand final on Monday, the 20th of November here in Brisbane. The runner-up will actually go through as a showcase team, also at the national grand final. And then if you're watching right now, you have a degree of responsibility, because at the end of the 5 pitches, you will have an opportunity to vote for your favorite. We will put up a little code a link and a QR code that will let you vote for your favorite team. And then at the end of our 8 semi-finals this week, we will choose one of the People's Vote teams to get a wildcard entry into the showcase. So those people's vote could actually secure your favorite team a wildcard chance to go to our grand final. But we won't be revealing that link until the end of the pitches. Now, enough from me. I'd really like to bring our 3 judges up to the room. We've got Matthew Townsend from Nature Freedom, Sherry Smith from Greater Whitsunday Alliance, and Noah Pronk from Sticky Pronk as well. Team, thank you so much for joining us. What I would love to hear from you, and the bad part is I didn't cue this for you, so apologies. We're going to do it on the fly. You're about to hear 5 pitches from our young people. I would love to know what might be one thing that you're looking for in a good pitch. You know, if you've got our young people stepping up today, what's going to be the one thing that you are really looking to see from our 5 semi-final teams? Noah, I'll start with you. What do you reckon, champ? Oh, can anyone else hear Noah? Okay, it's
there
not
we go.
just me.
Sorry, my
Yes.
laptop on here. So the main thing I want to see is inspiration. So doing something you're passionate about. I believe that's where most of my success has come from, and yeah, where I've come from, and it's what I'm looking for. Inspiration.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. And yeah, your surf wax is so intrinsically connected to your passion for the surf and water and the ocean. So I can see how that's a really important link for you. Sherry, over to you. What are you looking for today?
For me, it's the uniqueness. How does your solution differ than anything else that might be out there in the wide world?
Cool. So that secret sauce in the idea that kind of, you know, makes it seem really different or new to anything else that's out there. Yeah, I love that. And I'm sure as a passionate regional player, you're really looking to see some cool ideas from the regions as well. So Matthew, over to you. Stoked that we've got you here. What's one thing that you're looking for today?
Yeah, I was looking for about the why of your product. So it's very, very important about comparing to someone else's offers something similar, but think about why your product is different or more or better or more inclusive to the other. That's the biggest value of your pitch.
Yeah, awesome. I love that you've kind of referenced again, like sort of leaning into what everybody said, like value proposition, but how does it connect to you? Like how is your connection kind of shining through in that pitch? Right. I mean, 10 minutes. I've managed to smash the introduction, which I feel like is a really good effort for me. So why not maybe enough from us? And should we just bring up our first team for today? Now, what's super cool is in 2023, we had our first group of primary schools tap into our Activate program, one of which was Matthew Flinders Anglican College on the Sunshine Coast, who have got a huge number of teams through to our semi-finals, which is really exciting. Joshua, how are you feeling, mate? Are you pumped? Are you a bit nervous? How's the emotions?
Bit nervous.
Bit nervous? If you have nervous and excited together, which one's edging higher at the moment?
Nervousness.
Yeah, cool. Well, do you know what? I really believe that like nervousness is like the fuel that kind of brings that uniqueness to your pitch. So I reckon like harness that nervousness, because we're all super pumped to hear your pitch. We're not looking for a perfect pitch. We're just looking for your passion and to hear a little bit about your idea. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, over to you, legend. You've got 3 minutes. Can't wait to hear your pitch.
As this slide shows, vision impairment and blindness is common, affecting about 30% of the world's population. Those of us lucky enough to have good vision often take it for granted. Next. Vision loss can vary depending on the cause. Here are just a few examples. Many of us don't understand the problems that visually impaired experience, as we can't see the world through their eyes. Our lack of understanding makes it hard to empathize and know how to be inclusive. This is a topic close to my heart, as my gran lost her eyesight through glaucoma and macular degeneration. I saw her struggles, but didn't understand them fully. I aim to bridge the gap between sighted and visually impaired. Next. 2 out of 3 Aussies play digital games. That's a lot of us. Let's harness this market and educate sighted individuals. I'm creating an engaging digital game, providing experience of the challenges faced by visually impaired in a fun and interactive way. Next. Players begin by creating their avatars with many choices available, including the different eye conditions. To progress through the levels, players must solve puzzles and challenges, relying on non-visual sensors and tools. Coins earned in the game are used to buy virtual assistive devices, such as Braille Lego, screen readers, and even a naughty guide dog named Mischief. Information on the visual conditions will be shared through character interactions, rather than direct teaching. The core theme of my unique game is adventure and strategy-based, balancing fun, humor, and respect. It will be developed as a multi-device app, including VR. Next. I aim to raise awareness and encourage empathy through problem-solving, critical thinking, and teamwork. It will be exciting and stimulating, igniting discussions, leading to meaningful improvement in access and inclusivity. Next. As you can see, creating the app is the biggest expense. Costs can vary greatly based on the complexity of the game. I will need guidance and support for developing, launching, and reaching a global audience, including finding sponsors. Funding is vital, as I haven't lost nearly enough teeth to cover these costs. Next. The potential for blindsighted is enormous. Out of the 2.2 billion people with vision impairment, more than 1 billion could have avoided it with the right education. My game is the right education and will address these issues. Choose Team Blindsighted for a brighter and clearer future. With your support, we will bend the future. Thank you.
Oh, that was so great. Also, you're right. The Tooth Fairy should be chipping in a little bit more, I feel like, to contribute to this idea. Let's bring our judges back to screen. So we've got 4 minutes for some questions for Joshua. So hopefully our judges will join us on screen now. Excellent. So Noah, I'll start with you. Any curly questions for Joshua on his idea, blindsided?
Well, no, I was going to ask about VR, but then you answered that one yourself. So that's all from me.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. Sherry, how about you?
I'm just wondering, in terms of, have you done any market research? Is there anything else in the app world that helps educate around visual impairment?
Yeah, I found some VR games, but they were just for like visually impaired people, not for educating. Okay. It was just like for it, because those games were just like completely for like audio cues for like doing stuff.
Yeah,
it was like just for visually impaired people, not like educating normal people.
Okay, so a gap in the market is what you identified?
Yeah.
Great. Matthew, how about you? Any questions?
Yeah, I was thinking about financial viability of running the business. So you think about your target audience. So you got someone in vision impaired who love gaming, but how you find that? Do you think about not everybody are gamers, especially I know in my community, they have different interests. So how you keep it this sustainable over time?
Yeah, so how are you going to reach people and get them to connect to the game?
I was thinking like a kind of advertising kind of thing, maybe putting that out after a bit.
Cool. And where do you reckon people might go to find advertising for games and stuff? Like, what might be some places you could look to advertise in that might bring people to your game?
The App Store, because like when you first open it, it's got like featured games and games that have like been recent or games that most people have been playing recently.
Awesome. All right, great. Epic work, Joshua. Such a strong pitch to start with. I cannot believe that that pitch came from a year 6 student. Mate, you just nailed it. I don't think I could pitch that strong. So excellent work. Can we give everybody, or particularly Joshua, a massive round of applause for his excellent first pitch? And then our judges are going to leave the room and we are going to welcome our next team to the stage. From Rochdale State High School, we have Cozy, Bridie, Liberty, and Sarah. Team, how are we feeling?
We're
Good?
nervous.
A little bit nervous?
Yeah, just a bit.
Cool. How has the preparation gone for today? Have you guys spent some time like refining your pitch and putting everything together?
Yeah.
Feeling ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You look ready. I can see the fire in your eyes. This is going to be outstanding. All right, team, you've got 3 minutes. We're pumped to hear your pitch. Ready when you are.
When I was 12 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. Next. I was hospitalized due to an ovarian torsion and twisted ovary, which later burst, and I was rushed into emergency surgery, resulting in my left ovary being removed. A month later, while in hospital receiving my chemo, we discovered I was allergic to one of the drugs that was supposed to help me, meaning I had to stay in there for a prolonged period. I was 2 hours away from my home and my family, leading to anxiety during the night when my mother wasn't there. I knew the smallest bit of comfort would help me win this battle, and I probably would have been more motivated and less depressed had I had my own clothes. Next.
There are 670,000 children hospitalized each year. Imagine you're one of these children, alone and away from home, and all you long for is the smallest bit of comfort. Some children are even too young to understand why they're there and what's happening to them. To help these children, we created Cozy, the comfortable, cool, and of course, cozy pajama brand. Next.
Made with bamboo fabric, our clothing will not only make you feel like you're sleeping on a fluffy cloud, but it will also let you rest easy in knowing that you are helping the world with your sustainable choice. As a business that built its idea with the intention of comforting children in need, we donate 25% of our profits to the Queensland Children's Hospital.
In addition to this, we are also helping to protect the environment by using bamboo material. Bamboo is a fast-growing, sustainable, renewable source which doesn't require pesticides. It also has a unique antibacterial agent that the Japanese call bamboo-kun. Most pajamas are made from cotton, which isn't sustainable, and uses lots of water and requires vast amounts of chemical fertilizers and pesticides to grow, which is wasteful and pollutes local ecosystems. Next.
Our pajamas are inclusive, environmentally friendly, and remain ethical. Our inclusivity is seen in our sizes ranging from 2XS to 3XL, and our effort to make our products sensory safe with no zips, tags, or plastic printing. And of course, all our materials are sustainable, bamboo fabric and coconut buttons, and we source everything locally and ethically within Australia, including our labor. We're currently using labor from a member of the community volunteering to help our cause. And we're reaching out to In Stitches, a local charity sewing club. This local ethical approach greatly differentiates us from other sensory-safe pajama brands like Bamboo Island Australia, who has no community outreach, does not donate to a cause, and sources their labor from overseas. Next.
Our prices are visible on the screen. We will sell sets for between $77 to $85 depending on the set, which will give us approximately $20 profit per set, with us donating 25% of our profits to Queensland Children's Hospital. Our plans for advertising are to utilize social media and creating a website.
With my experience, I want to help give children receiving the treatment receiving treatment the dignity, comfort, and control that I longed for. And Cozy will do that. Thank you.
Wow, excellent work, team. And 2 from 2 didn't even need the full 3 minutes. Thank you for sharing so much of your story in that pitch as well. That was so interesting, and also I really appreciate just your vulnerability and sharing that part of your journey with us. We have our judges on screen. Sherry, I'm going to throw to you first. Have you got any questions for the Cozy team?
Yeah, look, it's around how you plan to scale. So I appreciate the exploring that everything will be onshore in the labor, and how at present you're sourcing a community member. So should this hit the market and people love your idea, how do you plan to be able to scale and make more on scale with right now you're currently using volunteers? What was the thinking behind that?
Well, we're going to continue reaching out to a variety of different sewing groups, as well as older people in the community who want to give back. And we're also planning on taking sewing classes at school so that we can also help out.
Okay.
Excellent. Cool. So Matthew, any questions for the team?
Yeah, I really like your idea. I'm not providing any feedback or anything, but I was hoping because you'll have a massive potential, because there's a lot of traditional charity are doing something similar, but then we talk about social enterprise, you try to give back to the community. Is there any case study story that you like to share when you market that encourages people to buy your product?
So are there any stories that you think might be really compelling to kind of reach people when you're communicating your idea? I think your story.
Probably just reaching out in a personal account. Yeah.
Awesome. Noah, over to you. Any questions for the team?
So firstly, great cause. My question, you mentioned one competitor. Is there many others, like with sensory safe pajamas, you said?
There's actually another sensory safe pajama brand in Australia called Comfort on the Spectrum. However, they don't donate to any other charities, and they're also not as transparent as us in how they get their labor. So I feel like we differentiate in that sort of stuff.
Awesome. Well done. Congratulations. We've only got 2 teams in this semi-final so far, but I genuinely don't know how the judges are going to make a decision already. The caliber's been so high. So you guys can actually breathe now. So well done. You can rest for a second and chill out. And congratulations. And judges, I will whiz you out of the room and welcome our 3rd team for this semi-final, and our 2nd primary school team of 5 primary school teams across our semi-finals from Port Neale Primary School in South Australia. We have the mood circuit. How are you feeling? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you both, Caitlin? Tell me what the lay of the land is for you. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you both? Nervous? What grade are you in at Port Neale?
6.
Grade 6. Do you know what? I reckon this is going to be an amazing pitch. I can see it already. You've got your branding behind you. You're ready to go. I can see that you're in the zone. So, Caitlin, you've got 3 minutes, and we are all ready when you are ready.
Hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm a Year 6 student at Port Neale Primary School. My business idea of a mood watch addresses a challenge experienced by people across the globe. The challenge is that not everybody can control and regulate their emotions, and this can make them hurt other people or regret something they have said or done. I know this personally because this has happened to my friend. My mood watch would have benefited her and will benefit people across the globe in the future. Next slide. My business mood circuit will produce a mood watch that will help people identify their emotions and provide strategies to regulate their emotions. My business provides a clear solution to a global challenge. My wireframe will show the basic concept of how my watch will work. This is the home page and the heart rate monitor. If your heart rate is low or high, my mood watch will ask how you're feeling. and you can choose your emotion or if you are exercising. Next, you pick if you want to change how you're feeling. Then, if you're choosing your anger, you get to choose which strategy you use to calm down, for example, a listening activity. After some time, it will ask you if you're feeling good, better, or worse. If you choose bad or worse, it gives you a list of things you can do without technology. It will check in on you again, and if you feel better, it will go to the home page. Next slide. Idea is different to what is already on the market. From my research, I found that there are mood watches already out there, Fossil and Lockheed Martin, but they just tell the time and change colour with the heat of your hand. Lockheed Martin's is a bracelet and costs $5. Fossil's is a watch and costs $199. My mood watch teaches people strategies to regulate their emotions. Also, my mood watch band is made from recycled rubber, so it is reusing rubber that would have otherwise gone to landfill. Next slide. My mood watch has potential because I will start small with kids and scale up to marketing it for adults. The feedback from our school market told me that out of the 10 people who gave feedback, 7 people gave my watch idea 5 stars out of 5. 7 out of 10 people said they will buy my watch, and 3 people said they will possibly buy it. Next slide. My mood watch is a realistic idea. I have shared my prototype aimed at kids 13 to 16 years old at our school market. Next, I need to fine-tune my design for younger kids. In the future, I hope to have strong connections with people and companies to help me turn my idea into reality. Next. Feedback from the market told me the most beneficial age group was 13 to 18-year-olds, but I believe starting my idea small, focusing on children, and then scaling out to include other age groups will make my business financially sustainable. Garmin and Fitbit sell watches to kids for between $70 and $150. I believe my watch can also be produced so it's affordable for families, especially because the band is using recycled rubber. Next slide. Thank you for listening.
Oh, Caitlin, so good. Nailed it. I loved your use of those like wireframes to show us kind of the run of the watch too. Excellent work. Our judges are just jumping on. And Matthew, I'm going to go to you first. Do you have any questions for Caitlin?
Yeah, I was thinking about how you encourage someone to find support from you. It's like if they're feeling down, you feel what their emotion, how you communicate that.
So what is the support mechanism once they recognize that maybe they might be elevated because of a not so positive emotion? What might the support look like on the other side of that?
Like something you could do to calm yourself down, or how you could talk to someone like this.
Cool. It's so important to be able to recognize your emotions. I think there's a book by Brene Brown who says that we only really recognize like 3 or 4 of our emotions, which is like happy, sad, and angry, and like all of the nuance that sits around us, we don't. So it's yeah, really good that you're helping people to identify those. Noah, over to you, sir.
All right, you stumped me. No, I think you've answered everything.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. Sherry.
Great idea. Well done. My question is around what made you decide to go with the actual manufacturing of a watch to be able to get your idea to market compared to an app that could then be downloaded on an Apple Watch, for example, and have access to that intelligence and emotional regulations. What made you decide that way?
If it's a watch, it'll be easier for kids to understand other than knowing what an app is. Also, that's the same question my teacher asked.
That's why you're laughing.
Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, Caitlin, amazing work. You did such a beautiful pitch. You can also rest easy now and take a few deep breaths. Excellent work, Caitlin. And gosh, I can't believe it, but we're up to our 4th pitch of today. So let's welcome our next team to the room. And we have from St. Edmunds College in Ipswich in Queensland. Dash, how you feeling?
Definitely nervous. No,
I feel like we've got a running theme here of nervousness. You know what? Like, I think I do believe that nervousness is a sign that this matters, right? So we often get most nervous when we care about something. So maybe it's good that you're nervous because it means that this is really important.
Mm.
Yeah, you're like, please stop talking. I'm trying to get ready for my pitch. Dash, we're so excited to hear your pitch, mate. So we're ready when you are. You've got 3 minutes on the clock.
Who here is afraid of the ocean, the unrelenting currents, unpredictable sharks, and what lurks below the surface? If you said yes, you and I are among the 72% of Australians who fear the ocean and sharks. In 2022, 9 Australians lost their lives due to shark attacks. What if I told you I had a way to limit the injury and fatality rate of shark attacks? Allow me to introduce the Sustainable Surfer, a Kevlar limestone rubber blend wetsuit that will come in the colours of yellow, white, and pink, with optional built-in illumination. Why these colours? Sharks are naturally repelled by these colours and they prevent bycatch, a phenomenon where a shark mistakes a human as a potential food source. Not only will this wetsuit prevent injuries and fatalities sustained by shark attacks, it will give peace of mind to all ocean lovers. Next slide. This revolutionary wetsuit is not just about personal safety. It has the potential to make a profound impact on charitable causes. This commitment extends to supporting organisations that safeguard marine life and ensure water safety. I pledge 5% of profits to Surf Life Saving Australia and Sea Shepherd, 2 noble charities dedicated to these vital causes. Next slide. The core of my innovation lies in the wetsuit's construction. The Kevlar and limestone rubber blend offers many different benefits. Limestone rubber is hypoallergenic friendly, chemical resistant, flame resistant, oil resistant, weather resistant, and abrasion resistant. Kevlar, on the other hand, makes the wetsuit tear resistant and have superior impact protection, making it the ideal choice for adventurers who value safety. Sustainability is key. Sustainability is not to avoid using any resources, but to use them in a smart way. It is said petroleum oil is going to be depleted in the next 50 years. Limestone, on the other hand, can be utilised for wetsuit material semi-permanently. Most wetsuits use petroleum neoprene, making this another key point of difference. Next slide. The exciting part about all of this is that these remarkable features come at a cheap manufacturing price. Each wetsuit offers an estimated profit margin of $1,445, with a projected market worth of $4.8 billion in 2023. This is an industry ripe for growth. My product stands at the forefront of innovation, ready to cater to the needs of professionals, recreational users, and even the defence forces and governments. Next slide. The Sustainable Surfer is not just a product, but a movement. I envisage it transforming the way people approach ocean exploration, with applications spanning from professional surfers to defence forces. Its potential impact is vast. I have conducted a survey of 52 Gold Coast surfers, and out of them, 46 said they would wear a Kevlar limestone rubber wetsuit. This is an 88% approval rate. The Clear and Starving branch alone has a $2 million spending budget, and a joint venture with Griffith University is also a realistic opportunity. In closing, I want to ask you to imagine the possibilities. Imagine a world where the fear of the ocean is transformed into awe and wonder. The Sustainable Surfer is not just a product, it's a promise of a safer, more sustainable ocean adventure for all. Together we can make the deep blue a little less intimidating and a lot more inviting. Thank you.
Excellent work, Dash. That was so strong. And I always marvel at somehow, without realizing, we get judges who are quite aligned to maybe the pitches. And so coincidentally, Noah, you get to go first. And as a producer of Eco-Friendly Surf Wax, I feel like this is right up your alley. So any questions for Dash?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually got quite excited when I saw another surfer. So I don't think you included your price point in there, and knowing natural materials usually cost quite a bit more, how are you going to compete with the petroleum-based market?
So I just need to look at the prices. It's $65 a square meter for the Kevlar, and then it's only $62 for the neoprene. So the neoprene is slightly cheaper, but it is like a more specialized wetsuit. So I think you can market it for a higher price. Like if you look at the closest competitor, theirs is on the retail market for $1,600, whereas a normal wetsuit is much cheaper. So it is definitely marketed as a more high-end price.
And do you see your product, sorry, I'm going to ask a follow-up, fitting in at
Yeah.
the same price bucket as what the competitor is, like at that $1,600 mark?
So I was thinking I'd market mine at about 1,500, so it is slightly cheaper because it's less established, and like that way it is also like more affordable.
Awesome. Cool. Sherry, over to you.
Yeah, well, my first thought was I would like to buy one. And then the second one is where's the data to back it up that I will be safe if I'm out in the water and have confidence? So I'm just wondering, I guess from a consumer, how are you going to provide that reassurance? Are you guys utilizing product manufacturing sort of, or the fabric, their data set? Are you guys conducting your own sort of with knives to give us that reassurance? What was your plan around providing the clients reassurance that they'll be safe if they buy it?
Yeah, so there has been testing on the Kevlar, and it is like very strong. It's what's used in bulletproof vests, so it can stop a bullet. And it's been tested on sharks as well for a potential wetsuit material, and it you need 5 layers of Kevlar to stop the force of the bite.
Yeah.
And the limestone rubber, it hasn't been tested the two together. So that is something that I will have to test with manufacturing.
Okay.
So I think what he's saying is, Sherry, are you happy to like don the prototype and maybe just jump into the water with some sharks and just test it? Like we're looking for some tributes. So I feel like your hand was up for that. Yeah.
You go first.
Yeah, fair enough. Matthew, over to you. Any questions?
As you mentioned, you involved with a couple of stakeholders like Sea Shepherd. Do you have any opportunity to expand out to more? Because the more people know about your product.
So I have contacted Griffith University about the beginning of a joint venture to like manufacture a prototype and testing, but I have not contacted the charities themselves yet.
Okay,
And,
keep it up.
Yeah, and I did the research, like I've interviewed people on the Gold Coast, and there was an 88% approval rate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome. Excellent work, Dash, but dealing with some very technical questions there. So excellent work not only on your pitch, but also handling the questions from the judges. You can breathe easy. And team, can you believe it? We're on to our last pitch for this semi-final. Like time genuinely does fly when you're having fun. So from Ferny Grove in Brisbane, we have Unified First Aid joining us to close out semi-final 1. Blaze and Harley, how are we doing, team?
We're all right. Yeah. A bit nervous.
Excellent.
Excited.
And your supporter next to you, what is their name so that we can greet them as well?
This is Cindy.
Cindy.
She's my mum and our interpreter for tonight.
Oh.
It's morning.
Time really is flying. Cindy, lovely to have you here as well. Thanks for joining us. Team, we're so pumped for your pitch. So you have 3 minutes and we're ready when you are.
We've all seen in the movies where CPR is applied to a collapsed person by the stereotypical hero of the story. But why can't that hero be a person with a disability? Next slide. We are Unified First Aid, where first aid is for everyone, everywhere. Next slide. Unified First Aid is our passion and comes from first-hand experience in the disability field. My father, before he passed, had numerous severe disabilities, one of which prevented him from mobilizing in public without a wheelchair. Due to these disabilities, he was never able to find an equitable workplace again. Harley's sister has a condition that caused irreparable eye damage and vision impairment, which has significantly impacted her life. It's from these experiences that we believe that every person deserves the right to learn first aid in a way that suits their needs. Next slide. Many workplaces require first aid training and certification. However, a first aid course is hands-on and relies on a person's ability to move. Due to this, some people are unable to complete a course simply because they have a physical disability. For example, how should someone in a wheelchair get down on the ground and apply CPR? Or someone who is blind identify a burn? The list goes on. Next slide.
This is where we come in. We see current first aid certification to be far too static. It should be fluid and change is needed. This way, we can enable individuals who have never had the chance to learn how to help in a way that suits them.
Next slide.
Unified First Aid is the only first aid course on the market that specifically caters to people with physical and sensory disabilities. We will run classes in sign language, classes that focus on vision impairment, and classes for people with physical disabilities on how to instruct a bystander to administer first aid. For face-to-face courses, the prices start at $175 and online courses from $125.
Next slide.
A group of 20 equates to $3,500 in revenue. Comparatively, it would cost just over $3,500 to begin running classes, nearly breaking even in a single class. Outside that, our main expense would come from running our website. Next slide.
We intend to start our courses online through our website without providing certification. This allows us to get our program into the world and start helping people straight away. We hope to get to a point where our courses can be instructed in person and eventually certified.
Next slide.
We are Unified First Aid, where first aid is for everyone, everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team. That was great. And thank you, Cindy, for doing such a fantastic job interpreting for us. That's so appreciated. Judges, welcome back. Our final team, an outstanding pitch from the students from Ferny Grove. Throwing to Sherry for the first question. Any questions for Blaze and Harley?
Look, my question is around the delivery, and you might have covered this, and there's a lot to take in of your great idea, so forgive me, but it's around the face-to-face delivery. Who do you plan to engage to provide that? Is it hiring someone, a contractor, yourselves? What is your plan around that delivery?
So initially we plan to start teaching ourselves through us initially, and hopefully down the line, after we do a little bit of scaling and we grow, we hire some people to help us do it so we can have more courses going at the same time. I mean, in a smaller scale, right now we're already looking at a year 11 student who's becoming year 12 next year, and to graduate needs to know CPR to graduate. But he's in a wheelchair and cannot, and will have to be accepted without getting that as a part of his graduation. Have to be let through with a special thing, and that's it's not inclusive for him. So our course hopes to aim to let him still be able to do that and have the knowledge to do that.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. Matthew, over to you.
This is really right up to my alley because I'm involved with disability all of my life, so I know pretty much everything. So I was just wondering about, when you're trying to get traction, did you have an opportunity to reach out to more of mainstream? So this is like Lifesavers Club, Sporting Recreational Club, because we're becoming more inclusive now. We've got NGOs that are being rolled out. You start to see more people out there about in the community, involve work and everything else.
We've actually reached out to both the Dylan Alcott Foundation and also NDIS with emails and communication to try and tell them about our course and get them to support our idea. We've also reached out to QAS, that's where my mum works. So they're very behind the idea, a lot of people at QAS. And we've reached out to people, disability liaison units at TAFE and universities that are very interested in our idea.
Great job, team, seeking out those partnerships. It sounds like Nature Freedom and Matthew might be a good partner as well. So maybe reaching out to Matthew for some support too. Noah, over to you.
So would it be rolled out through like you having your own courses, or would you like come along to courses that are already being running and like being specialized in those areas? Like say we run a surf life saving first aid course, would you come out and join those events or run your own?
Absolutely, that's part of the long-term thing. all part of the inclusion, where we don't have to separate people from mainstream courses if they don't want to be, but we can happily, go along with them to their chosen courses that they would like to participate in and help them with that.
Great question. Awesome. Team, excellent work today. A really strong pitch and also handling some tough questions from the judges. Can we give our final team for semi-final one a big round of applause? Welcome. Excellent. You can breathe easy, although only for a brief moment in time. However, the pressure shifts from our pitching teams to our judges now, who have a very difficult decision to pick a winner and a runner-up. So we will wave goodbye to the judges as they go to make some really difficult decisions. And whilst they're doing that, if you're watching, you also have a job to do right now. The People's Vote is officially open and the QR code and link is now on your screen. So jump into that and vote for your favourite, because the team that gets the most votes whilst our judges are deliberating will go in the draw for a wildcard entry into our grand final. So we'll pop some tunes on, we will leave the QR code up, and we will see you back in a few minutes' time to reveal our winner, our runner-up, and the People's Vote winner as well. See you soon. So the judges have returned, which means a decision has been made. Whilst the judges have been deliberating, we've been collecting people's votes left, right, and centre. I think we had over 300 votes in the 5 minutes you were away, which is pretty outstanding. So I'll reveal the People Vote winner in a moment. But judges, we do need to get the winner and the runner-up. Shall we start with the runner-up and then reveal the winner? So the runner-up will go through as a showcase team in the National Grand Final, and our winner will go through as a pitching team, one of 8 for the National Grand Final. Who is going to reveal the runner-up? Sherry, over to you.
Look, it was a really tough decision. They were all great ideas. I think we come down to 2 top ideas that are really innovative, addressing a real seen gap in the market. And the runner-up today will be the Sustainable Surfer.
Whoa, hold on, Dad. You're going through to the showcase. Congratulations. Big round of applause. Pitch like a legend.
Thank you.
Excellent work. We are stoked. And that is the first grand final team for St. Edmunds. Well done, sir. Represent. That's excellent news as well. So the winner going through to pitch on stage on the 20th of November. Who is going to reveal the winning team?
I am again.
Excellent.
We really love this idea. We felt that it really addressed a real gap in the market, and look forward to it evolving and seeing it delivered in due course. And the winner is Unified First Aid. Sorry.
Grow. Our first team going through. Congratulations to you both, and also thank you to Cindy, obviously, for interpreting as well. You are the first team to go through to our 2023 National Grand Final. How does it feel?
Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, it's exciting. Whew.
Excellent.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
we're so thrilled to have you at the National Grand Final. So congratulations. It was a tough field. I don't know how the judges made a decision, but you will be going through to our National Grand Final. So another round of applause. Excellent. All right, I am awaiting the results of the People's Vote. Let me see if it's hiding somewhere across all of the channels. Okay, I have the official vote through. Okay, over 300 votes came through in the 5 minutes that you had disappeared to deliberate. And in that time, we have one team who is our People's Vote winner for semi-final 1 and will go into the draw for a wildcard spot at the showcase. The winner of the People's Vote is Cozy from Rochdale State High School. Round of applause.
Wait,
I got. Yeah, that's what I was pressing last time. Yeah, because.
Congratulations, team. You will have to wait with bated breath to see whether you go through as a showcase team for the grand final, but you're in the draw. Obviously, you had a massive backing in your community and online from everybody watching. So congratulations for being the People's Vote winner of semi-final 1.
Thank you.
Excellent work. Well, judges, I know that was difficult. I don't know how you did it. Thank you so much for your time today and for just honouring our young people with your expertise. It was so very appreciated. So a round of applause for our 3 judges. Excellent work. Fantastic. Now, if you are watching and you are keen to see Ferny Grove take the stage for our National Grand Final, then tickets are actually open for our National Grand Final on Monday, the 20th of November. QR code is on your screen. You can join us in person at the Triffid in Brisbane on Monday, the 20th of November. Otherwise, the whole event is streamed live. So if you're located somewhere else and you would like to watch from your couch in your pajamas, you can definitely dive in and snag a ticket. We recommend you get tickets early. This will be a sellout event. So excellent work to our teams. We'd love to see you at our grand final. And in other news, this is only 1 of 8. We have 7 more to go. So if you had a good time, if you enjoyed it, and if you're keen to see who's going through next, in 30 minutes, we kick all of this off again with 5 more teams, 3 other judges, and I know some really hot competition for the remaining 7 spots on stage at our grand final. Thank you to everyone for joining us today for our first semi-final, and we'll see you in 30 minutes time for round 2.